How do I know I'm hiring the right real estate agent for the job that I need done? That's what we're going to tackle today in under 6 minutes. Hi, I'm Jason Wilson with Ursuline Associates. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Give us a thumbs up or a subscribe if you're interested in more content like this. We appreciate you being here. Now let's get into this. We're going to talk about this and answer the question in under 6 minutes. All right, so welcome back. So this topic is kind of a big one because it can be somewhat offensive just because I might be talking about your sister's, uncle's, cousin's former roommate whom you've used. Now, I'm going to say this from the word go. If you hired somebody and you had a great experience, then you hired the right person and the rest of this information is irrelevant. If that person is no longer in your life or able to serve you and your real estate needs, you may want to know what questions to ask so that you can be sure you're hiring the right person. So as we talk about hiring the right person, we need to kind of lay out the framework. This could be for buying or selling, right? It doesn't matter. It does matter that you get some of these answers, and there will be some specific to whether you're buying or selling. So let's talk about the general questions first. So number one, the first question that you're going to want to get answered is, what is their experience level? How many units have they sold? So experience in units is going to be one of the questions that you want to have answered. Now, it's not the only question, but what that tells you is that they've done enough transactions that they have some level of experience that doesn't isolate you to the scenario of 1, 2, or 3 different clients, and that's all the experience they have, and then you have to fit in that box. This allows a broader sense of experience for them to be able to, advise you on arguably the largest purchase or sale of a transaction that anybody does in one single sitting. Okay, so the second major question that you're going to want to ask is experience. I know I just said experience was the first one, but this is going to be experience in years. Right now, the longer they've been in the business does not necessarily mean the better, right? Just because somebody says, I've been doing this, since the birth of time, can also mean that they're doing it an old school way. And we'll talk about some of those differences. But having experience greater than the last 3 or 4 years may be of benefit to you. What do I mean? Well, what I'm talking about here is going to be the issue that since 2020, there's been a lot of people that got in the business. The market was a very unique upward market that did not require a lot of skill, negotiation ability, or the ability to read and adapt to markets. And some of those people might find themselves here in 2024 while the market is shifting and interest rates are riding between the high 6s and the low 7s. They might find this challenging to give you advice or frustrated themselves at the speed at which things are moving. This is information you want to be able to have. So if we were to compare the two, let's say you talk to somebody who's been in the business for, let's say, 7 years. And over that course of the 7 years that they've been in the business, they don't do a whole lot of transactions, but they've done about 50. Nothing to sneeze at, but definitely have kind of done their under 10 per year kind of thing as they've ramped up. Maybe they did 2 or 3 in the first year and now they're averaging around 10 a year. It's definitely some experience under their belt, right? But it's taken them over 7 years to get to that. Then the other person you talk to has only been in it for 18 months, but they've also done, let's just say, 40 deals. Ooh, so they must be a success. Like, they've got this, they're cranking it out. That's true, and they very well might be. They might be the best person to hire. However, if the market is shifting and they've never been in a market like this before, you're going to want to ask additional questions of how they plan to operate differently in a shifting market. Have they experienced the shifting market? Have they thought about it? What are they going to do differently than what they did in 2022 to get houses sold if they're selling? Or how are they going to protect you with negotiating when it comes to the buying side? Where you'll find a major detraction is if they got in after 2020 and they worked with buyers. And in that time, people were bidding over asking price, waiving contingencies, all kinds of stuff. If you have to now get in and negotiate and you're asking for the loose toilet to be fixed, 7 pieces of rotted siding to be replaced, painted to match, and caulked, and that it needs to be done by a qualified contractor 3 days before closing with receipts, this may be something that they haven't experienced before. And if they just say fix the siding, and that's what was agreed to, and the seller goes out there and puts some wood putty and paint, and you go, well, this doesn't look good. Go, well, that's what they wrote. Now, all of a sudden, experience matters. So you can get two people with equal skill doing, with equal units and different skill sets. So number 3 is, do they have experience in the area that you're hiring them for? Geographically speaking, have they worked inside the communities and sold? For example, my team sells from inside the perimeter all the way up to the North Georgia mountains. Anything that's going to go to the other side of it is not an experience that we have had, and therefore we refer to other agents. This is going to be a crucial factor for you in doing this. And then if they're going to be hired to list a house for you, you want to know specifically what they're going to do for marketing. Professional photography, open houses, the technology that they're going to use, and how they're going to integrate AI into the process of selling your house. All of these things will be important. So those are the main questions that I would ask if you don't know your real estate agent and you're hiring them for the first time. I hope you find this helpful. That's the questions to ask when you're hiring a real estate agent in under 6 minutes. Talk to you soon.